Hello and welcome to this special edition of the interview on France 24. I am Andrea Sankey in Paris. Now, since tasting freedom for the first time in over 6 years, less than just a week ago, Ingrid Betancourt, the Franco-Colombian politician and now former FARC hostage, is back in her beloved Paris. But how long will it be before she returns to her native Colombia and possibly to the presidential campaign trail? That is one of the questions I will put to Ingrid Betancourt, who joins me now on this special edition of the interview. Ingrid Betancourt, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here with me.
You know, when the images of you were first released just a few days ago, everyone remarked on how great, how healthy you actually looked. So I first have to ask you, how do you feel?
I feel just great. I feel great. I think that I have been nurturing myself with all the energy of all the people that have been surrounding me, so I just feel great.
Because just a few months ago we'd heard reports that you were days away from death. Were you that ill?
Oh yes, oh yes. I was very, very bad. I think that I was lucky because I had this nurse. He was a soldier, but he was a nurse, and he took care of me, and he brought me to life. Okay. So I owe him a lot.
It came down to that one person?
Yes. No, he made the difference because the guerrilla didn't want to give me any medical support. So he took on him to put me back to walk.
And how are you feeling emotionally? Have you fully grasped that the ordeal is over?
Well, it has been like many feelings. First like an explosion of happiness, and then I have been trying to just to hold myself, to just feel the intensity of being with my children, back with them, with the people I love, with my mother, my sister. And I have been discovering all those little things that have changed since I was away, not only because they have changed, but also because I have changed. So the relationship with all of them, I think, is better, but is kind of, I mean, we're working on making it the great as we can. It's a beautiful experience.
You know, when you first spoke to the public, one of the most interesting things you said was that you forgave your captors and that this ordeal was nobody's fault. What did you mean by that?
Well, I meant, well, I don't think that the ordeal was nobody's fault. I mean, that many were, guilty of what was happening to me, especially, of course, the guerrilla. I think that was something that I have to point. But I always thought that when I was going to be freed, I didn't want to take home all the bitterness and the cruelty I have been witnessing when I was held as hostage. So I think that the true freedom is to be free of all those kind of rancors and things that you feel that pulls you back. I don't want to go back, so I just want to look straight and to the future. And so for me there's no, I don't want to seek vengeance, or I just want to I hope that God will take care of them in the better way. And
you don't want to go back, you don't seek vengeance, but you don't regret doing what you did. Going out to the territory that you were warned against going into 6 years ago. Okay,
I regret the pain I caused to the ones I love. I regret, of course, the 7 years I passed with them that could have been lived in another way. But what I mean when I say that I don't regret the decision I took is because if I was today in the same position with the same information, I would probably do the same. It was a question of principle. I didn't want to go. It wasn't like I was, obsessed with going to San Vicente El Caguán. But I thought that the people that were waiting for me there needed me because they needed like a shield to protect them from future repercussions. You remember at that time the peace process had collapsed, and so the people that were living in the area where the peace negotiations had been held were very scared to be targeted for retaliation, and I thought, and they thought too, that with my presence I could help them. So for me, when I think back of what happened, I think that with the information I had at the moment, if I had to do it again, yes, I would do it again.
Okay, because you still believe in the cause.
Oh,
what
yes,
you stood for.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you then. We have so little time, very unfortunately. So I want to ask what your plans are now.
Okay, I know where you want me to go, but I don't want to go there.
Well, I know you want to spend time with your children, but I remember talking to your son who said, nobody tells my mother what to do. And if her ambition is to run for president when she comes out, because they knew you would get out one day, she will.
Okay, I'll tell you something. Being in the jungle for 7 years gave me another perspective. Being president is great, but it's not so great after all. You can do other things. I'm not saying I won't run for presidency perhaps someday in my life, or perhaps not. What I mean is that it's not my ambition. My ambition is to serve my people, my country, and to serve wherever I can serve. Perhaps, look, I always think in Burma with Aung San Suu Kyi. I know that she has been living a torture, and she has been held captive in her own house. So what if I could just go there and tell her that we have not forgotten her, that she's important for the world, that she means something for us? I would like to do those kind of things.
Let me ask you, though, in your native Colombia, do you think people would welcome a presidential bid on your behalf?
I don't know. Perhaps yes, perhaps. What I think, it's not the time to talk about that. I think it's too premature. I think that Colombia is living a moment where all the countries united around a president that has been successful in stopping the advance of the guerrilla.
And you congratulate him on that success,
correct? Oh yes,
correct?
because I think he's doing something that had to be done. Probably not the way I would have done it. But anyway, I think that he's doing something, a homework that had to be done. I would change many things. I wouldn't have his style. I think there are many things that I would be doing different. But I appreciate that he had recovered the hope for Colombians. And that's important.
That is important. Let me ask you, how do you explain your popularity here in France? I mean, you question what your chances would be of becoming a candidate again in Colombia, but here in France, you are a major celebrity cause. It was here that your poster was up on the Hôtel de Ville for all these years. Why is that?
I think that I have a love affair with France. I think that I have this kind of intimacy with the French. They understand what I feel, and I don't have to try to convince them, because they know who I am. I mean, not because they know who I am, but because they understand what I say. So, but I think that in Colombia too, I don't like when you say that in Colombia they don't like me, because I think...
I didn't say they don't like you. The popularity level is quite different.
Well...
The support level, rather.
Well, I'm not sure.
No?
I just think that it's different. Well, I heard that there was a survey last week, and that for a presidential bid I would be in the first place. That's great. But what I'm telling you is that I don't think that... I think that if people believe in you, perhaps the way of helping them, the only way is not a presidential campaign. There are other ways, and I think that, for example, we have a march. The 20th of July, Colombia, all Colombians will be marching, because we need to rescue the other hostages that are still in the jungle. Well, I want to work for that. People that are now listening to me, I would like them to help me in that, helping...
To free the others.
To free the others, yes. Just by a prayer, thinking about them, perhaps sending an email, or just being attentive to the news, keeping the attention, keeping the momentum of that we need to have them back very soon.
Ingrid, let me ask you something. I've spoken to a number, I will call them of your critics, I guess, who actually complain that French leaders have spent too much time and taxpayer money trying to help you, trying to rescue you. How do you respond to them?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's a price for life. I don't know if you can put a price for rescuing somebody. For me, the life of anyone, me or somebody else, anyone, I mean, I would do anything. I would spend all the money that I can if I can save one life, if I can make the difference for only one person. So here, I think that France had made the difference for many people. We were 15 rescued. If France hadn't done what France did, the 15th of us, including the 3 Americans, including the 11 soldiers,
they'd still be there.
We wouldn't be alive. It would have been a rescue in the sense of a very bloody type of rescue. And here you had another thing, because the people were asking not to be violent.
Okay. Final question then for you. Following your release, the death of Raúl Reyes and Marulanda as well, where do you think the FARC stands?
I think they lost. I think they have no credibility. I think they played to be the good guys trying to give Colombia the opportunity of such social justice. And now people around the world knows that FARC are terrorists, that they keep hostages, that they take their money from the drug. I mean, they it's
lost
a failure.
the vision.
For me, it's they lost whatever bit they had on this hostage issue. They lost it. So I think they have to rectify.
Okay. Ingrid Betancourt, very unfortunately, we are out of time for this edition of The Interview. I'd like to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.